Ladies and gentlemen, a better world with Jesus.
Ooh, yeah. Do a song, man. Do a song for us.
No one but Jesus, no
No,
one you see, no
nobody.
one but Jesus can set your soul free. Life with the Lord is a sweet melody. There's no one but Jesus for me.
Ah, so very true. So very true, man. Nobody but Jesus for any one of us. Now, I know you got a joke. You want to do your joke first?
Oh yeah, did you hear about the fish that ran into a wall?
Huh, what'd he say?
He said, "Damn."
That's pretty good. I want to tell you, folks, we got us a new guy on the show here, co-host, Free Preacher Stephen. He's got a guitar, too. And we got some people, your announcer today, that's Samantha, the lovely Samantha. We've got Walter, and he is our checks and balances guy. He keeps us honest on the details. And we got Tommy as the tech guy. And you know me, I'm Free Preacher Daniel. You can't get away from that, folks. And we've been looking up that free preacher thing, and I've been saying it, and I'm still saying it. Free preacher idea is going to catch on. The free preacher movement is going to catch fire and fly. It's going to catch fire and fly because Jesus was a free preacher. He came down here from heaven and gave the whole gospel for free. All of his apostles were free preachers. Everybody in the New Testament was a free preacher. Somewhere along the way, they got these paid preachers, and it was good. You had to have them. That was an important thing to carry the word up till now, because the word had to be published among all nations, and it had to be done however it had to be done. But now that the word has been published among all nations, now is the time to do it the way Jesus said, because that's how you do build a better world. You do it according to Jesus.
That's great.
Yeah. And
And
go ahead.
up till now, it recently it hadn't been sent to every nation. But
Right.
because of the internet, it
Right.
can be now.
That's a good point. That's exactly right. That moment, I can't put the exact date on it, but now the gospel is published among all nations. In Mark 13:10, it said that's got to be first. And then in John 16:4, he said that when the time shall come, ye may remember that I told you these things. That time has come right now. And I think it's going to bust up all over, folks. I don't think it's going to be us exclusively teaching his commandments. It's going to be everybody going to be teaching them, because nobody's been teaching his commandment about where to put the money, and nobody's teaching a few other of his commandments. They teach his name, his promises, some of his commandments, but then there's a few that just don't ever get taught, and yet his commandments are what is going to make the world better. And I come back to old John the Baptist. This is what they said about John the Baptist. They said he was the voice of one crying in the wilderness. And Isaiah 40 predicted that somebody was going to come doing that. They're predicting there is going to be a voice of one crying in the wilderness. He's going to be saying, prepare ye the way of the Lord, make his path straight. That's what we're talking about right here, folks. We're going to cry like a mamma jamma in the wilderness here. Christianity is a wilderness, and we are crying, folks. It's wilderness because there's no central authority. You think Jesus should be the central authority, but he's not. He's just a figurehead. There's no central rule book. There is no rule book for Christianity. Every denomination has got its own rule book. They all differ from each other, and they all differ from the Bible, too. And I'm saying the rule book ought to be his commandments, and yet they're not even teaching all of them commandments yet. Yeah, free preacher, man, I'm getting fired up now, man. I'm getting pumped up, Bubba.
That's funny. I guess. So we're going to be the Mamma Jamma Church. I just nicknamed it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that. I've been called worse. I've been called worse than that.
That's right. Well, I've got some stuff right here.
Okay, yeah. Go through that scroll a little bit, yeah.
Live your life by the golden rule.
Yeah, that's right, man. That golden rule. Let me see. That is, what is that again?
I think that's where you want to have a lot of gold in the bank.
Oh, yeah. Them that got the gold make the rules, ain't it? That's the one, isn't it?
No, that's, do unto others as you want done unto you, I think.
That's right. And I think everybody wants to be respected, so you respect everybody. Everybody wants to be treated nice, so you treat everybody nice.
Yeah, if you see somebody broken down on the road, well, that might be you one day. So
That's right. And you
want
treat them
someone
nice.
to do, stop and help.
And you do it because, like what you said one time, you said, "Given it shall be given unto you." When you do treat everybody like that, it's not just you're doing a favor to them and a favor to God. You're doing a favor to yourself because all of that good behavior comes back around. Everything that goes around comes around. And when you're mean, it comes back around. When you're nice to people, that comes back around. But I want you to, I see one there. I'm looking at it
Okay.
upside down here. That's that next one, man.
Bear much fruit, so shall you be known.
Oh man, that's a good one. See, that's how the angels will know you. That's how God will know you. That's how Jesus will know you by the fruit that you bear. Now, he never listed out the fruits of the Spirit. Jesus never did. But Paul did. Paul said love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance. That's some of the fruits of the Spirit.
You know, this makes me think of the story of the fruit tree that Jesus went to, and it was didn't have any fruit.
So he killed the whole tree.
Cursed it.
He cursed that bad
And
boy.
it withered.
Yeah,
So you don't want to be like that tree.
You don't want to be
You need to
like
bear some
that, buddy.
fruit.
That's bear much fruit. And that means bear much love, folks. And you bear much joy. You got to have joy in your life to go with the Lord properly. You don't, it's not drudgery. We've been talking about that, how when, working hard in this world and then you got to work hard in the next world. But it's not retirement when we leave this world, folks. Your job in your next world is dependent on what you do in this world. You can earn a really good job, but it's not going to be drudgery. It's going to be a fun job, but it's still going to be work. You still got to work. But what's the next one there?
All right, teach all things that he commanded and preach his gospel to the entire world.
Oh, man, preach his gospel to the entire world. And also, you remember there at the end of Matthew, he said, go and teach all nations to observe all things whatsoever that I have commanded you. That's his commandment. That is his doctrine, his gospel, his all things he commanded. That's we teach him to everybody. Oh, yeah, because in that, right at the beginning of his gospel, right there in Mark 5:19, he said, whosoever, and I love that because that means anybody, whosoever shall do and teach my commandments, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. You can have a name for yourself. You can be somebody when you get up there. You got to start by hearing his commandments or learning them, and you get them all right from your Bible. You don't need us to tell about them, but you'll never get them from church. You'll never get all of them from a church. I know people go to 20, 30 years in a church, and they never come out of there thinking, okay, here's his 200 plus commandments. No, they never teach them all. But you can be called great if you'll do them and then teach them.
And I like
Like
this
that.
one.
Yeah.
Forgive everybody and love them all.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Do you get anything in return for that?
You get forgiven yourself.
What, by Joe Blow down the street?
Well, who knows by who? You'll have to just wait and see what.
By God.
That's right.
I knew the answer before I was feeding it to you because I thought you knew the answer too. By God, they will forgive you. It's what he said. The Father will forgive you if you forgive everybody else.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I got to help you a little bit sometimes too, huh?
Well, yeah,
He
absolutely.
helps me all the
Yeah,
time.
well,
I got to help you.
I'm a second-rate co-host.
No,
And I have
but you're a first-rate co-host, man.
I have two things in here that I want to read.
Okay, let's get them out.
For nothing is impossible with God.
Ooh.
Nothing.
Oh, let's stop and work on that one a little bit there. Nothing is impossible with God. That means just one word like that, whosoever again. That means that little old dinky Daniel, little old dinky Steve, our little dinky team right here, we could amount to something in this world. We could change the world. People could be impacted by what we're teaching as long as we just teach it straight from the Bible.
Right.
Teach it, we can call things like a Mamma Jamma church or whatever we want to call it like that. Get a little humor in the thing there, but nothing is impossible with God. So when you start trying to do those things he told us to do, they seem impossible. It seems impossible to love all your enemies and stuff. They're so mean. Oh, goodness, they're mean. But yet it's not impossible. When you start trying to do what Jesus told you to do, you can build a better world, you can build a better future for yourself in the kingdom, and you can build a name for yourself when you get there. What's the other one you got?
Okay, the other one is his mercy extends to those who fear him. What's that fear mean?
Ooh, I think it's got something to do with respect.
Okay, it's not fear like I'm scared of him,
Well, I think it's got a little touch of fear in there, a little touch of being scared.
but it's really respect.
It's an awesome respect. It's like if there's a big old semi truck coming down the road and you're out in the middle of the road, I wouldn't recommend being real scared of that truck and just stopping in your tracks and being afraid, oh golly, no. But you got to respect that that truck is coming down the road, and if you're still standing right there, it's going to get ugly. God is coming down the road right now, folks. And he's a big old 18-wheeler, man. He's an 18-wheeler with the extra trailer on back, and they're carrying a full load, man. He's a train. He's one of them 200-car trains coming down the tracks, man.
It takes a mile and a half to stop.
It takes a mile and a half just to stop, and you're standing there on the track and say, well, that's, I'll have faith in God, and he'll save me from that. No, you have to fear God.
And that means respect him.
That means respect him, and you better respect that train that's coming to run your butt over, too.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I don't know how cool it is, man. Give us one more off here, man.
All right, well.
One more off this one.
Oh, one more off of here?
That's okay. If you got another one there, that's
fine.
okay.
Judge nobody and condemn nary one.
Judge nobody. Okay, what do you got after that one?
Be of good cheer and be not afraid.
Oh, yeah. There. See, he told us to fear God, but we're not supposed to be afraid. That's the difference right there. You fear God with that awesome respect, but don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of that train coming down the tracks. Just step off the tracks.
Okay, he's not waiting to punish you.
No, he's not. That train doesn't want to run you over. That big 18-wheeler come down the road don't want to run you over, but you better respect it enough to step off the track, but don't be afraid of it. You'll get froze up out there in the middle of the road.
And you can be of good cheer because he's the Father. He created you.
Oh, and that good cheer again. Wasn't we talking about joy a while back too?
Right.
That joy is so important. Be of good cheer. Don't be a grumpy Gus going around the world. A grumpotamus, what do they call that? Don't be that kind of a guy. Even if you don't feel the joy in your heart, you still got to be a little bit of an entertainer, folks. Put a smile on your face. You don't have to go around and share all your grief every time when you're around somebody. Show some kindness. Show some love.
And these things can build a better world.
There's the joy right there, the peace and the long suffering, the gentleness. Show some of that stuff right there, and that stuff will build you up to where the joy will come. What do they call that? That fake it till you make it thing? You ever heard that one? That's that way with joy. Right. If you ain't got no joy in your life, fake it till you make it. Act like you got joy.
And you can believe you will make it because you're not depending on yourself. You're
depending
on God.
You're counting on God to pump some joy up into your life. But you have to be ready to receive it. You have to be an empty vessel. Get rid of your hate, your anger, and that's that forgiveness we was talking about, that you got to forgive everybody. That's one reason you don't have joy, because you can't forgive. One reason you don't have joy, because you can't love them scoundrels and them lousy people in this world, man.
Yeah, people have really, really hurt you. And we talked about it kind of earlier off camera about somebody that hurt me. But I've forgiven that person, and I'm wishing them a good life, and hopefully that's making my life better.
Because you do it for your own best interest.
Right.
Everything he told us to do, no matter how hard it seems on the face of it, every bit of it is for your own best interest, your own long-term best interest. Everything he said will guide you and shape you and lead you into an eternal life, and you're going to be glad that you learned how to love. and learned how to forgive, and learned how to hold back judging and condemning. How you learned how to do all of the stuff he commanded.
And if you share, it's going to be shared back to you.
Yeah, that sounds right.
All right.
That sounds
Ready
right.
for some music?
Yeah, almost. Almost. I want to talk about that voice of one crying in the wilderness. Folks, I'm wailing my blues, son. Prepare ye the way of the Lord's gospel. Prepare ye of the way of the Lord's own commandments. Prepare ye the way of the Lord in his own words. Prepare ye the way of the Lord to be the boss. Because he is the master and commander. He is the Lord and the Savior. He is the Redeemer and the Messiah. Folks, he's the boss. He's got the right to tell us what to do, and we have the right to obey.
No one but Jesus, no one you see, no one but Jesus can set your soul free. Life in this world is a sweet melody. There's no one but Jesus for me.
Oh, thank you so much, Free Preacher Steve. Thank you, Walter, Samantha, Tommy. Thank you all at home. We appreciate every little bit of it. And we're going to catch you on the rerun, man. Bye.